Tonight, we see the Rolling Stones No Filter Tour 2021 live in concert, Heinz Field, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Tom was here. Hello out there, wherever you are. As for me, shortly I'll be heading down to Heinz Field, but not for the Pittsburgh Steelers, not in 2021. No, actually, I will be going down to see something even more unbelievable. I will be going to see the Rolling Stones. Yes, the Rolling Stones, still touring in 2021. I can't believe it myself. This was actually a concert that was postponed from 2020. And they're still doing it 2021, man. God bless them. It's almost unreal to think that they're still going. And you know, I to be honest, I wasn't going to go to this concert. I have this weird thing where it's like I just assume that people are going to be around forever, and it's like, you know, I did this with the Rolling Stones for many a times, where it's like, oh, we'll see them the next time they come to town. Oh, we'll see them the next time they come to town. And I used to do this for years, and I do this with a whole bunch of acts too. And then, you know, I remember a situation like a George Carlin. When George Carlin was in town, I had a friend that was like, man, this might be the last time. This might be the last time to see Carlin. We went down to see Carlin at Heinz Hall, and it was phenomenal. And I think he died like 18 months later, never made it back to Pittsburgh. And after the Charlie Watts thing, I'm like, man, they're not going to last forever. Look, I have a working theory that Keith Richards is going to outlive us all. But that's not truly the case, is it? I mean, eventually, it will be the last tour. And, you know, Mick's, you know, 78, and I'm going to see him go down there singing and dancing his ass off for 2+ hours. Meanwhile, I'm half his age, and I hurt myself walking through my house yesterday. So that proves that, well, I'm out of shape, but that the dude's 78 and still killing it. So it's one of those things where it's like, man, like, do you want to postpone this much longer? I mean, how much more can the tour go? I mean, Charlie Watts was the original member of the band, but I can take comfort in the fact that, you know, not too many people saw the original, you know, Rolling Stones. After 1969, they weren't the original anymore, and even though, you know, Ron Wood joined in 75, even that, you know, 75 is a long time. I mean, but even then, it wasn't the original Rolling Stones. So being able to see really Mick and Keith and Ron Wood kind of do their thing, you know, in a concert setting of which I've never seen the Rolling Stones live, I figured I had to do it now, because if I did not do it now, I may never get a chance. And the Rolling Stones is one of those acts, man. They're one of those, like, you know, you hear that name and it's like they've been around forever. Like, you know, it's like a Beatles and an Elvis and you know, just these names of these, like, you hear these iconic acts, and the fact is that you know, unfortunately, not all the Beatles are around anymore. Elvis is not around anymore, and truth be told, not all the Rolling Stones are around anymore. But Mick and Keith and Ronnie Wood are still doing it, and they are still out there, and they will be in Pittsburgh at Heinz Field this evening. You know, it's one of those things that I had a friend, my friend Josh, reach out to me, and he's like, hey man, you want to go see the Stones? This might be the last time. And I feel like we've had this conversation before where he's like, yeah, this might be the last time, and yet they keep coming to town. And I'm like, man, after the Charlie Watts thing, I was like, maybe it is the last time. Like, maybe this is it. And, you know, I was like, okay, all right, we're going to pull the trigger on this. I purchased tickets, bunch of pre-planning ahead. I purchased tickets actually at 12:30 last night, so technically today, for the concert today. So, you know, I mean, it's nosebleed seats. Like, have you seen concert prices? You've been to a concert recently. Like, if you're trying to sit lower bowl in a stadium tour, you're paying hundreds of dollars. And they have those giant screens. I watched some vlogs that people did of the Rolling Stones, and they have these massive screens that they know people are sitting up at the top. And, my phone has RK Zoom. It'll go in. I'll be able to see him dancing around there. I'll be able to see that little ant down there and know that's Mick Jagger dancing around there. And that'll be fine for me, just to be in the building, to say I saw the Stones live at least once in my life, because it was an awesome experience watching McCartney open PPG Paints Arena. But how many years ago was that now? How long have the Penguins been in PPG? It's been quite a few years. But yeah, seeing McCartney open up that was another kind of like bucket list, like seeing that man perform, seeing the Rolling Stones perform. Just one of those events that I knew I had to get to sooner or later. But let's head down right now to Heinz Field to get the sights and the sounds of the 2021 No Filter Tour for the Rolling Stones. Let's go.
Erica!
It's busy.
Erica!
Right. Oh my God. Everybody's coming in late. They have the gates open at 5:30. It's 7:48 and they're still filing in.
It's really great to be out and about again, isn't it? I mean, really. I just want to say a couple of words because it's quite emotional when you see these images of Charlie up on the screen, and it reminds us we played together for 59 years, you know, as a band. I'm sure lots of you out there will have your own memories of Charlie singing, playing, everything. So we'd like to dedicate this show to him. So here's for Charlie. Too many years. haven't even had time to go to the Andy Warhol Museum and stare at myself. I mean, it's rushed I did have time to queue in the rain on Saturday for a sandwich at Queen Manny's. Washed down the steel curtain. Delicious. Hang on a minute. I'm just going to adjust my got cheese. Is anyone here from Cleveland? We all love you. Our brothers. Anyone from Philadelphia? Buffalo? Johnstown? Columbus? That's a lot. That's enough towns. And now I'd like to tell you about who's playing the scene up here tonight. First, I'd like to introduce you to, singing alongside me, Mr. Bernard Fowler. Right alongside here, Miss Sasha Allen. On the saxophone, Tim Reese. On the tenor, Carl Denson. On the keyboards, Matt Clifford. On the drums, a guy who's been part of the Rolling Stones family for years and years, a great bit of childish, Mr. Steve Jordan! On the keyboards, Chuck LaFell. And now on the guitar, the Pizarro of Pittsburgh, Mr. Ronnie Wood. On the bass, Daryl Jones! Terrible mistake, and fine for that one. And now, on the guitar and the vocals, Keith Richards! We first played in Pittsburgh in 1964. The Westview Park Dance Land. And I remember seeing, the only song I remember was High-Heeled Sneakers we did that night. Is there anyone here who climbed under the fence? Anyway, if you did, thanks for coming back to see us slightly more. had his moments of doubt and pain. Made damn sure the pilot washed his hands, sealed his fate. 'cause I tried, and I tried, Lord, I tried, Lord, I tried. I can't get no, I can't get no. When I'm driving in my car, I make comes out the radio, chilling me low and low. Useless information, supposed to miss my imagination. I can't get no, no, no. Hey, hey, that's what I say. I can't get no satisfaction. I can't get no satisfaction, 'cause I tried, Lord, I tried, Lord, I tried, Lord, I tried. I can't get no, I can't get no. When I'm watching my TV, think of somebody tell me how what my should be. You give me a minute, you just have to go. See the rest of me. I can't get no, no, no. Now, hey, hey, that's what I
Some high risk to get that stuff down. Look at them. Look at this bottleneck here. Oh my god. They made everybody on the floor leave out of this one entrance. Yikes. Oh boy. Shit. Almost have to like look at it. Look at it. As far as the eye can see, humans. Okay, final thoughts on the Rolling Stone 2021 No Filter Tour. Hell of a show. I kind of bummed out I waited so long to actually see them perform live. You're getting the Rolling Stones experience. They're getting older, but there's, Mick's not sitting in a chair. As my friend Josh said, he's walking like 20 miles over the course of that concert, and he works the stage, man. He's still doing the moves and everything. He's definitely, he's still the Mick of old. And Keith Richards still sounds good on the guitar. Ron Wood still sounds good. Everybody still sounds like they're supposed to sound. So that's the thing, with longevity, with you wonder how a group can be performing for almost 60 years. Well, they're pretty good at it. That's how you do it. So when you're performing that long, and you still sound like you sound. You ever been to a concert and someone just doesn't sound like how they sounded, say, on the record, or sound like how they sounded on, they always sound different live. There's only a few rare performers that sound exactly the same live, but I feel the Rolling Stones pull it off quite well. It does help and make it very easy that they have tunes that the soundtrack to your life almost. You've heard their songs in movies and TV and shows and stuff, and it follows you around. And then, when you go to a concert and you only know 3 songs versus when you go to a concert and you know almost every song, man, that's a good experience. But I dug the show. I thought it was a blast. They look like they're still having fun. I'm fascinated because there's always the rumor that Mick and Keith hate each other, but it doesn't come through on stage. I think they're actually pretty. I think they actually look like they enjoy each other's company on stage. Whether that actually occurs behind the scenes, probably not. But that's my thoughts on this. I thought it was a great show. I dug it. I actually upset that I waited so long to see them live, and glad I got to do it, because one of these days, it's going to be the last time. Well, that'll wrap it up from the Rolling Stones No Filter Tour 2021. Hell of a show. Mick still sounds like Mick. Keith still plays like Keith. Ron Wood still plays good. Amazing show. So glad to be a part of it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to support me on Patreon like John Bailey did, you can do so. Link is in the description below. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt, a Tomwashere t-shirt, you can do so at Spreadshirt, as well as links to my eBay store, Facebook page, Instagram, and Clubhouse. But when it comes to the Rolling Stones live in concert 2021, and my first ever time seeing the Rolling Stones live, I can say, my name is Tom, and I was here. Thanks for watching, like, and subscribe. Bye, everyone.